and it's going to be green light racing here at Monza. Here goes Noah. We're going to try and go wheel to wheel with the leader. Vic, once again, back on the top step. We did say take it easy. Oh my goodness. Sinead's going to go for it here into 14, 15. Side by side, is it going to be Mercedes or is it going to be a BMW?
Hello and good evening everyone, happy Friday evening indeed, and we're here at Brands Hatch for the MX5-CUP run here at Phoenix Sim Sport, and it's Brands Hatch Indy indeed. But before we get into further processions, just a little word from our affiliated partners at Asetek Sim Sports. So if you're wanting some top quality sim gear, especially their pedals, head on down to Asetek Sim Sport, grab what you want, get to the checkout and use the code Phoenix Sim Sport for a 5% discount. So before we get into qualifying, practice is just coming to an end. We're going to go through the current championship standings. Now I had them here just a second ago. Very good at misplacing things. So we are at standings and the MX5s. Right, so the battle at the top of the MX5s stretched out after the last two events at Bahrain, with Mikael edging out his lead over Miku. So it is Mikael on 416 points, Marcel Miku, sorry, on 337 points. Third place it's GOVEE with 302. Then it's Kempers with 226. Then it's Mav in fifth place with 200 points, followed by Nirasto on 190 points. Fiala is P7 with 158 points. Blaziken is P8 with 142. G Santos is 138 points in P9. Running at the top 10 is Dylan Conway with 76 points. You can see at the moment we have 14 on the track for today's session, and I'm actually joined in the commentary box for a little bit of company this evening by Clibby. So welcome everyone to Clibby, to the commentary box. Hello.
Hello.
How are we doing this fine Friday afternoon?
I mean, it's really good Friday. It's a really good day. We have a great race weekend ahead of us, and I mean, we are racing with MX5s today on a short track, so we should see some really good racing action.
You're absolutely right. It is the Brands Hatch Indy, and we're looking at around about 51 seconds, 51.455 fastest time set in practice so far. So we are expecting maybe around about that time, a little bit quicker in qualifying. And having a slightly larger grid this week, we've definitely got some new faces in amongst the pack this week. It's going to be some fantastic, very close action round here for the two 20-minute races. First one will be designated by qualifying, that is coming up next, and then the second race is a reverse grid order. So plenty action and chaos for the second one, but plenty coming in the first one as well. So I've been following practice for the last 40 minutes, and some drivers taking to the track, some not. It's very fast but very technical around here at Brands.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and in the race I think we'll see this come out, as we won't have as much like slipstreaming in between drivers, as it's a short track, so mostly the corners will define this race.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. It is going to be a battle of wits. I had noticed some drivers taking lots of different lines being taken around this track, and for such a short track as well, it's very interesting to see. But the field spread isn't too far. I'm seeing from from fastest time in practice to P10, it's only a second. So it's going to be a close one, and a 51-second track, a lap track, 20-minute session. I think we're going to see plenty going on today on track. But we are a minute away from the start of qualifying, 10-minute session. Can Miku beat Mikael today and try and overhaul a wee bit of those championship points that were lost in Bahrain, and what was a fantastic race? The VOD is up on YouTube if you haven't already seen it, and let's just say both races photo finish for the pair of them, and it was fantastic to watch, so go give that a watch. We're going to stay here focused on the now, round Brands Hatch. in the MX5 Cups with Phoenix Sim Sports, with me and Cluby in the box. So, from what you saw in practice, anyone taking your fancy today for the long run? For the first 20 minutes anyway?
I mean, Cody is really close to Parmesan. I don't know what his name is.
We'll just go with Parmesan.
Yeah. I mean, they were having some close battles on track as well. So I think we'll see some pretty intense racing between them.
As we see the first cars leaving the pits now. Some going out right away, some waiting a wee second. Marcel Miku, we're going to go on board, our championship protagonist. P2 currently in the standings. And was having a slightly difficult practice session. I wonder if he's kind of got the car a little bit more set up for qualifying now, because these 10 minutes are going to matter for his championship for sure. We already see him going wide on the outlap. He's going to be pushing very hard today, that's for sure.
I mean, these cars are really fun to push. They are 160 horsepower, and their power to weight ratio is pretty good. It's like 100 kilograms to 160 horsepower, so...
Yeah, that's not a lot of weight with quite a nice little bit of power underneath them. And these guys have absolutely been showcasing it week by week now with how they throw these things around. They do look like fun little motors to get yourself behind. Let me see the first outlaps being set with Miku doing a 59.9 there. And on his first official hot lap, let's see where he ends up. And he'll be looking for an extremely fast time up the front, and especially ahead of Mikhail. That's exactly where he wants to be today. And he has the free run of being out front as well. As he sees him sweeping at the wheel in this final corner, coming up to the start-finish straight here. And let's see where he's going to be setting. So the benchmark is a 152.5 from Miku, not his best. As Matt Pryor instantly does a 152.4 to beat him, and then it is Cody with a 151.9 to take the lead. Rugby goes third with a 52.4. So Miku dropping down, not the most ideal opening lap. As we now follow Cody, as he is right up the box of Pryor. Everyone now completing their first laps. Mikhail only doing a 53 there, so he is still quite a bit off the back as Parmesan does a 151.5. Takes him 0.3 of a second up on Cody, who we're with right now. So a blistering lap there from Parmesan. Matt Pryor not behind, too far behind, 0.6 now between P2 and P3. It just shows you how fast Parmesan has gone on their lap. Oh, big slide there from Cody into turn one. Runs it wide, and that'll be a lot of lost time. Let's see Maverick kicking the tail out into the gravel around turn one. That'll be his lap gone. Fiala pushes himself up into P8.
Someone went into the gravel in turn one.
I did hear that, yeah. I'm wondering if that was Sopanen or Fiala. It was not too far behind Maverick. Yeah, not ideal for the times. Miku has dropped down to P6 now, with Rugby P5, Pryor in P4, and it's Sopanen up into P4. But as I say that, Miku has just jumped him and is now up into P3 with a 151.9, so an improvement on his first time. He is right behind Cody in terms of times. There's like 0.04 of a second between them. But then out front still by 0.3 of a second is Parmesan with 151.571, so an absolutely slamming time right there. Still 6 minutes left on the clock, so it's all to play for. And lovely looking track temperatures as well. 35 degrees on the track today with an air temperature of 25, and slight northeasterly 5 km/h wind, almost the same wind direction as we had the Tactus series yesterday. Which again, if you didn't check out the VOD for that one, it is also up and it's a lot of fun to watch. But back with these MX5s. change on the board as of yet. We see Mera going round the outside of Maverick, round the last turn, down the start-finish straight. Currently slowest of our outrunners with a 54.292. So we'll be looking for an improvement into the second half of qualifying now. So Clibby, you found anything going on in qualifying, or has it just been everyone sticking to a plan?
I mean, I didn't really. The most important thing that I noticed is that Miku, not even in practice, could set a better lap than Parmesan or Cody. So it's really important for him to like just keep his eyes on the road and then get those lap times up.
I think you're absolutely right there. Just getting that one good lap in qualifying is all he needs. As long as he's ahead of Mikel, come race start, he will be happy. But at the moment, Mikel's P9.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe Miku is pushing his car too hard because he ran wide a lot of times, so he may be a bit nervous this time. Not sure.
Yeah, he'll be wanting to make amends for Bahrain. There was a couple of little moments he had in both races that could have possibly cost him the win. But he fought with Mikel all the way to the end of that one, as we are watching Cody jump into the pits to finish his first or second. That'll be his second run. Maverick not doing as well as he hoped this weekend. Well, started this weekend for sure. P11 currently with a 53 almost dead. So he's 0.4 off the back of Bazakan in P10. So not having the best day out there so far for Maverick. As he goes wide round turn 1, he's already struggling with the back of that car. And we'll see if he can improve as the session goes on. Let's see who we can go on board with now. Parmesan, still with a 51.5 is his fastest time. Cody has kind of came down a little bit. 0.2 of a second is the gap. With Miku not too far behind. But they all seem to be running wide a little bit here. All pushing the track limits, trying to get that little bit extra out of it. It's going to be needed. This is going to be a very tight end to qualifying. Just got 2.5 minutes to go. It's going to be all or nothing for these drivers at the top, going for pole position as we see Nestor taking P11 from Maverick there, improving his time with a 53 dead. As Parmesan has had no improvement. So very, very close. 0.02 of a second between his last lap and his fastest lap. Just shows you what they're playing with. Cody at the moment 0.2 behind his best of 51.7. Near enough 51.8. As he comes through traffic on his flying lap. And it is Parmesan just up the road as well. These two could be battling for the win today. But don't count out Miku, he is right there as well. And so is Pryor, he's pretty close to the back of that as Prison as well. They've got, what, 0.06 of a second between those two, and between 4th and 5th. As Cody sets his fastest lap of a 51.7, sorry. It is not quite enough to beat Parmesan off of pole so far. Down to the last minute of qualifying.
Wojtek went off the track on his flying lap.
Oh, so Fiala not taking any gains then?
Yeah, that may have cost him even 8th position, because he's only like a 10th slower than Yuho.
That is definitely not good for Fiala as Nestor makes up another place on the grid there. He's up to P9, and his teammate and championship leader Mikel is definitely struggling at the moment. He's down in P10. So he'll be wanting to make some kind of improvement. 1.2 seconds off the pace. Not showing the same prowess that he had at Bahrain last week. Trying to see any improvements from Matt Pryor. He does make an improvement, but not quite enough. Not quite enough. Track limits by the looks of things. So Pryor is pushing hard. And this will be it, folks. The last gas run. Miku's already conceded. P3 for him. Looks like GOVEE is just ahead of Pryor here. Is also on a lap. As we see Mikael go up to P4, that's a bit more like it, and he is right behind Miku, so it looks like they're going to be back on for a good battle this race. Mikael was not giving up that run yet, as we see no improvement from any of the drivers on track. And that looks like it's going to conclude qualifying with Parmesan taking pole position from Cody. And that is Miku in P3 and Mikael P4, Matt Pryor in P5, Brizin is P6, GOVEE P7, Sopen in P8, Fiala P9, Nestor in P10, and Isbakazan in P11, Maverick P12, Laurie P13, Shotgun Mera running up the back of the grid there, and P14. So, yeah, it looks like we have some good times on the board, and there's not much separating the whole field there. In total, between 14 cars, there's 2.2 seconds separating everybody. And the top 10 are literally within a second to 1.1 seconds off the race pace. Well, their fastest qualifying time. Impressive stuff. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, the whole pack is pretty close compared to MX5 cars, so I think we'll see some pretty close racing.
I'm hoping so, and it's going to be the turn 1 and turn 2 are going to be very interesting to see with so many cars and so little space through that part of the track. I think we could see some midfield bunching up and some scraping of paint for sure. Parmigiano will be...
even someone in the gravel, because I mean it's a high-speed declining corner, so it'll be really hard to control.
Oh yeah, it's an almost guaranteed that someone's going to push it a little bit too hard coming through turn 1, and we're going to see some clouds of gravel. Who else it affects, we shall see. For the most part, this is going to be the first 20-minute race of the evening, followed by, as I said, the reverse grid order second race, which is always an absolute hoot. So we have 3 minutes until we get lights out. So folks, now's the time if you want to go grab yourselves a drink, a little snack, go for it as we get ourselves in a position for round 1 here at Brands Hatch with the MX5-CUP Championship at Phoenix Sim Sport. And I for one am certainly looking forward to this one. I'm going to go on board with Mikael at the start of this one, as he goes alongside his championship rival Miku off the line. So that's Miku P3, Mikael P4, and Cody in P2, Parmesan in P1. So we're just going to ignore the leaderboard on the left hand side for now because it makes no sense. There we go. Things start to fix themselves. But no, that is not quite the order, but we'll take it. As we know, it is Parmesan on pole position, followed by Cody. Then it is, as I said, championship rivals up at the top. Miku heading Mikael off on the start of this one. I've still got a minute and 40 to go. Drivers getting themselves ready. Such a long wait filled with anticipation for these guys. They just want to get underway and racing, and so do we. And we're down to our minute to go. Let's see, standing start, and it's going to be a little more of an, it's a little bit more of an incline on this outside. So P2, which is Cody, he's going to have a bit more of a tougher line coming up to the first corner in comparison to Parmesan. And Miku will hopefully want to get a good start as well, so he can stick behind the 48 numbered car, or the 48 liveried car I should say, into turn 1. And hopefully take the place from Cody. We shall see. 20 seconds to go. Engines are starting to rev. And we'll be getting ready for lights out here at Brands Hatch, as we see 6 blanks on the screen. There we go, up to 3, 4, 5, 6. They're holding them revs. And we are off at Brands Hatch. What a start by Parmesan. Let the car up well, and that was the start I was thinking Miki was going to try and get, but it seems like Cody is going to cut across. Coming down into turn 1. The beautiful angles there of the field coming down. Looks like everyone's actually made it round turn 1, nice and neat. As we need to get back to pits before we forget. That would be a terrible thing to happen. As we see, Maverick was having a little bit of a fight down the order there, and he is dropped back. So is Nestor. So we're on board with GOVEE. Lots of side-by-side action coming through the end of the first lap. So we're looking at Parmesan leading Cody, leading Miku, leading Mikael, and we're watching GOVEE. He's still in amongst this battle, just exactly like he was at Bahrain last week. What a field. And the lead pack flying ahead right now. As we see in the background, Maverick was looking for a little move there. It looked like it was on Shotgun Mera. In the background. We see them coming round. We see a few cars going wide there.
But I don't know what happened to Saharma.
It's quite far off of the pack.
I think he may have been a late starter to the event. And he is Carter, the 15th driver on the race. We see Mera going wide there, and this allows Barzakan to go up the inside of Maverick. So Maverick, a winner there. And that's him ahead of Barzakan, who is now ahead of Mera, who we're on board with Laurie right behind. Nestor's there as well. Parmesan is starting to open up a little gap now to Cody. The gap there is now a second at the front, with a further second back to Miku. Oh, Mera having a little bit of a moment. I think he may have had a little bit of a bump there. As, oh my goodness, Laurie and Nestor are getting a bit strangly and taggly here at the back. And who says all the action's at the front? So they're going to have a little bit of an ongoing battle as we see Cody and Parmesan trading blows. Which is weird. We had obviously a bit of a lap timing error. Field's kind of gapped out a little bit so early on.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect them to be this far off of each other, like making small packs, as these are the MX5-CUP cars.
Yeah, you would have expected them to kind of be a bit more closer together. There's Sharma having a lot of difficulty in this event. I believe he was having the same issue last time he was out as well in this. We're just very much getting used to the car and having a fun little run around. Is Sharma on board with Cody now. So he looks to try and catch up to the back of Parmesan, but that gap is eking out ever so slightly. And Miku and Mikael keeping him nice and alert as well. They're not too far behind. So still not too far spread at the front. They're keeping themselves honest. Rest of the pack again is keeping distance. GOVEE still keeping
and
contact.
And Laurie nearly spins it in turn 1.
Oh,
He tried to push too hard, catching up to the car in front, and he started to go sideways.
oh dear, nothing you can do when you start pendulum it there.
Yeah, the gap opened up, so hope he's fast enough to catch up.
And hopefully so anything can happen here as Sharma has pitted in for maybe a retirement already from the race. Indeed, it looks like a retirement there from Sharma, unfortunately. As we are still following Mikel at the moment, 0.9 of a second behind his championship rival Miku. Holding steady at the moment. Miku, sorry, is kind of starting to lose pace a little bit with Cody in front, and I wonder if that's going.
And Shotgun Mera spins it as well.
Oh no!
Laurie caught up to him, so we may even see the battle in between them. I mean, we still have sort of 15 minutes left, so anything can happen.
Let's see, on board with Laurie at the moment, as you say, all over the back of Shotgun Mera.
Tries to show himself in the mirror, try to confuse him.
Oh, as Laurie goes wide under braking there, Mera kind of weaving about. If they keep this up for too long, it's not going to take too much time before the leaders catch up to the back of them, because Parmesan's only half a lap behind these pair at the moment. We've still got 14 minutes of this race to go, so the back markers could actually get involved. As we see Laurie pushing a bit too hard again and going wide at turn 1 in the gravel trap. There looks like there could be a little bit more of a battle going up ahead as well, as we're seeing Sopen in. Only a second now between him and Brisen. Gap at the front is stabilised. Also, it looks like Maverick could be in for a bit of a fight against Barkazan here. Maverick not having the greatest of races. I think he's lost a couple of positions since the start. The biggest loser out of everyone from the start at the moment has been Laurie, with the most amount of positions dropped. Barkazan has also lost quite a heck of a few positions. So they're all battling now for P10. And currently 5 seconds off of the back of Fiala for P9. As is the field spread at the moment. Cody's starting to make some inroads on Parmesan at the front. Last laps, look at it, there's a 2/10 difference. So if Cody can keep this up, he will be on the back of Parmesan in the not too distant future. 5/10 the gap between Miku and Mikel. That is the current battle for P3 and P1 in the championship as well. As we look at the previous laps, we can see Maverick did have a better lap than Bazakan last time round. So if we can just keep this rhythm up, he could be on for a half decent points finish. And it's what he's needing. Currently 200 points in the championship. Could do with a definite handful more, as he gives the car a little bit of a snap there. Nice, he holds it really nice there, and off he goes. It's on to another lap. Let's see if he has a faster one than last time out. It does indeed. Sets his fastest lap of the race, but so does Bazakan. And there's not going to be much between them as Maverick gives it a good bit of snap coming down T1. And these two are going to be at it for a little while, I think. Bazakan just reeling Maverick in now. Gap at the front has extended a little bit more. And Parmesan has responded to Cody somewhat. Respond he has indeed. 1.6 second the gap at the front. On board now still with Maverick and Bazakan, as the rest of the field has kind of just gone off to do its thing. gap between P3 and P2 at the moment. It's Miku and Cody. It's now up to 5.7 seconds. This is a battle going up ahead. I think Sopanen has ran into trouble. Yeah. You see him going backwards.
They were fighting with Ryzen, and he just pushed the car too hard in turn 1.
That'll be very unfortunate. Let's say that will be unfortunate. He'll not be happy about that. Sopanen, he was running very well, but that now sees him down to P10 behind Maverick, who inherits P9, and Bazakan all over the back of the recovering Sopanen. And let's see how fast he can try and recover now. But as you said, yeah, that was like a battle for P7 he was involved with. Unfortunately, sees himself back down at the tail of the mid-runners. Just shows you anything can happen. One mistake on such a short course, and you can see yourself right down the back of the order really, really quickly. It's very unforgiving at that point. GOVEE in P5, not much of a mention of him so far this evening, but he's holding steady. He's just under a second behind Mikel in P4 right now. So that battle for the last place on the podium isn't quite over. Miku looking like he's stretching, but here we go. Sopanen is trying to have a little good at Maverick, and Barjakan is coming. Have a look, and there's contact between the two of them, and he sends Sopanen round. And not what you want to be seeing there, but a little bit of a too little too late from Bazakan into the last corner, and it's Sopanen again who has to bear the consequences and drops down to P12 behind Nestor, giving Maverick a little bit of breathing space.
I mean, it's a very unfortunate race for him so far. He already got spun two times while battling. But he has the race pace, so I think he has the potential to even come back to 8th, 9th place.
We can hope so. I mean, we still have 8.5 minutes to go, so anything's hugely possible. And we've seen it being possible before. But Maverick, a little bit of a winner out of that. He gets some fresh air. Gap at the front is still 1.3 seconds. Cody and Parmesan trading fastest laps at the moment. A 151.497 by Cody, with a 151.5 set by Parmesan. So they are really close by together. Still 0.5 of a second between Miku and Mikel for P3. And then GOVEE just falling just ever so slightly back off of Mikel for P5. 1.2 seconds the gap now. Matt Pryor 2 seconds further back. Fiala's having a nice quiet race today, and a good, not the best run in Bahrain last week. So it's steady 8th place, 6 seconds behind to Maverick, and a further 7 in front to Brizin. So getting a much needed clean air running. They're just able to do their own thing, which is good to see. P8 so far. We have Brizin, who's also kind of in the mid pack of just doing his own thing. 4 behind Pryor. As we said, just extending his lead over Fiala now to 8 seconds. So that's P7 for Brizin. Pryor having a quiet one. Had a fantastic race in the first of the Tactus runs last night. It was fantastic to watch. And unfortunately had some technical issues, I believe, in race 2, which forced an early retirement. It's good to see him back in the MX5s this evening. P6 at the moment, 3 seconds behind GOVEE, and 5 ahead of Brizin. Good solid run from Matt so far.
I believe there's a small kind of competition going in between Shotgun Mera and Lori at the moment. Lori caught up after kind of gliding around, and he tries to overtake him again. He tries to show himself as much in the mirror of Shotgun Mera as possible to try to force a mistake out of him. But let's see if he can make the overtake.
And Indeed, let's see what happens. Yep, Mera braking early, and Laurie very aggressive in this car. She looks to try and almost scare Mera out the way. And look who's behind. It's the leaders, Parmesan, coming up to this fighting pack of back markers. Will they get out of the way as Laurie comes in hard and deep on this one? Shotgun Mera's going to have the better exit, but here comes Parmesan. Blue flags will be getting waved. And Cody's not too far off the back of this. Hopefully these two do not battle the leaders coming through turn one and just let them go on to do their own thing. Yeah, looked like Laurie went wide for a reason. That's kind of put off Cody a little bit, but Mera staying nice and wide there and letting Parmesan through. But that is seen Laurie drop right back there. So a little bit of unfortunate coming through traffic as Mera goes wide, and Cody is going to get through here. Gap now 1.2 seconds to himself and Parmesan up front. With 4.5 minutes of this first race left to go as Mera loses the back end, hits the wall backwards, and oh no, is tagged Laurie as well. The both of them getting caught up in that. And yeah, Laurie's the winner out of this one. Miku's going to come through, and Mera's not looking in the mirrors.
He didn't leave much space for him there.
He didn't at all, as he just kind of parks himself out the way and has retired from the race.
Laurie spins it again in front of Miku.
Oh no. That's what... Not... that Miku will not be wanting that at all.
But thankfully he was in the gravel trap, so...
This battle has closed right out the battle between Miku and Mikael. There's literally nothing in between the two of them here. Mikael setting faster laps the last couple runs. And McQueeby is also not too far off the back of this, just a little bit further, 2 seconds down the road. Can Miku hold on to this? These are valuable points for his championship battle right now, and he really needs to keep the man behind him, Mikael, right where he is, and that is behind him. Because we are running out of races in this championship. Round 6 at the moment. There's only 4 more to go. Let's both of them run nice and wide round there. It's exactly what you want to do in these cars. You see Mikael right there. He's letting Miku know that that gap's no longer comfortable. He's going to have a very good run down the start finish straight coming up to turn 1. He's a little bit far back to make a move, but he can certainly spook Miku if he wants to. Braking zone, 2 completely different lines there. Oh, as Miku goes nice and wide, and that might be a little problem. Mikael is catching on that one, so Miku had made a little gap. Has lost all that work just by running a little bit wide. As we come down the start-finish straight yet again, we've got 1:40 left on the clock. Out front, Parmesan leads Cody by 1.3 seconds, and it's like a further 10 seconds behind to this battle now. The championship leaders, Miku battling Mikael for the last of the podium spots.
I mean, the best thing Miku can do in these last minutes is just keep his cool and focus on what's ahead.
That's it. Just don't overdrive.
Yeah. It won't help him, it will just make him nervous. So the best thing he can do is just keep his eyes forward and drive as fast as possible without overdriving the car.
That's exactly it. And he's not got long to hold out now. Parmesan will get round for one more lap after this by the looks of things. We'll just see where he is on track very briefly. As we see Sopanen getting lapped. This battle is pretty close at the front right now. 1.2 seconds, but it has been a bit of a flawless run from Parmesan. And not to say that Cody hasn't had a flawless run either. It's just been so close between these two. The gap really hasn't extended any further than around about 1.6 seconds throughout the whole race. But Parmesan very much in control. And we'll be starting one more lap under this one. We probably want to slow down to run the clock out, but can't. So there will be one more lap to go in this race. Oh my goodness. I want to go...
I mean, what I've noticed is Parmesan is using the track as much as possible, even in the last corners, where a lot of people would spin it or not dare to do those things. And I think that's what gains him this advantage.
I think so. He's just had such a steady and composed feel about him ever since practice. He hasn't really made any mistakes, as we see. Oh ho, Mikael really pushing it. Really pushing it. And we're going to go quickly on board with Parmesan as he crosses the line and takes victory here at race 1 at Brands. Cody in P2, a great result, and the camera just really hates panning back to Miku, who does come P3, Mikael P4, Rigweeby will pick up P5, Matt Pryor with a solid P6 there, Prison P7, Fiala P8 as it stands, Maverick will have a P9, Nestor with a P10, Bazarkan with an up and down race there, in P11, Laurie P12, Sopanen in the wars for sure, P13 to round it up with Shotgun Mera and Sharma not finishing the race. So that was quite the first run, I have to say. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is round 2 reverse grid order here at Brands Hatch for the MX5-CUP at Phoenix Sim Sport, and I'm going to go over to Kluby because I believe he has some news about the end of race 1. Go ahead.
I mean, as people might have noticed, the starting grid has changed a bit. Matt Pryor ran out of fuel on the last lap of the first 20-minute race, so he'll be starting P2. That was unfortunate. He got pushed by another car into the pits.
I'm kind of glad you caught that. Obviously I wasn't paying attention to exactly who crossed the line and when, but yeah, very good eyes there from yourself, Kluby. So Matt Pryor will be starting P2 in this reverse grid order. This may be a little bit of a godsend for him. But oh dear, running out of fuel around Brands Hatch, India, in a 20-minute race. That's going to be a little bit of embarrassing. But we are gearing up. There's 4 lights out at the moment. 6 blanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All the noise. And all the go. Great start from Laurie, actually, off the line. And Matt Pryor is away in P2, but look up the inside is Bazarkan. He's letting himself be known. And it looks like we do have some clean running through the back. And remember, folks, reverse grid order, so usually all the fast ones are at the back. All the not so fast ones are causing chaos up the front. So, good start here from Matt Pryor. Hopefully he's brought an extra 5 litres of fuel on board with his car. Maybe a little jerry can hiding in the boot somewhere. But he is all over the back of Laurie early doors. We see Nestor and Mikael. Mikael has already made it up to P4 with Miku down in P7. Not ideal for Miku. Parmesan up to P7 as well. So as we see, Matt's going to make a move here. There's a big crash down the start-finish straight. That looks like it's involved Parmesan, Prison. That was a
And
big
you
one.
left your car on the track, so
Oh,
yeah,
did I cause an accident?
yeah.
Oops.
Happens to the best of us.
I was getting too excited in this starting battle, which has seen Matt take the lead. My car hasn't came to a stop.
I mean, yeah, Matt Pryor and Laurie had a great battle, and Matt Pryor is actually making a bit of gap ahead of Laurie.
I think the worst thing is happening right now, and my car is rolling down turn 1, and there's nothing I can do about it. Oh, jeez, folks.
Miku and Michael side by side, and they go 3 wide with Bazar Khan.
Wow, they're everywhere.
And I think Michael spun Bazar Khan.
I think you're right. As Miku is the winner out of all this. I am probably going to get reprimanded at the end of this race for not getting off the track. Yes, we're on board with Nestor. He's up to P6. Sopanen in P7. So big winner out of this, Miku. He's up to P4. Rugweeby P3 now. Laurie's still holding on to P2 as we're watching Nestor and Sopanen have a battle here. Sopanen up the inside and takes P6. Mikhail P10. I have a feeling my car may have been the reason he is down to P10. So there's a couple others. There's a big squabble going up ahead as well that is involving Parmesan, Cody and Nestor, as Cody's trying to go around the outside of Nestor down the inside here, and is Parmesan going to try and take advantage? He is.
Oh, and Parmesan spins it.
Oh no!
At least slid it. My
Yeah,
bad.
it's so good. He's made it back on track as we see Matt as Miku Rugweeby have got past Laurie. So Rugweeby in P2 now, Miku in P1. Sorry, P3. Parmesan here, not ideal for him. P10 at the moment. Going to be looking to push back hard. Some great individual battles going on the track here. You see Parmesan all over the back of Mikhail, who's desperately wanting to go up the pack with Miku in P3 currently.
Also, Cody trying to make some moves. He's currently battling with Sovanen. They're going side by side to the last corner.
Oh wow, Sopanen, yep, down the inside. Are they going to leave each other enough room? They are.
But can they keep it side by side in the first corner? That's where most drivers make mistakes.
We've got a battle on for the lead as well as Rugweeby's all over the back end of Matt Pryor. We'll get back to that in a minute, but this is a great battle here with Cody doing the old switcheroo. Back down the inside on Sopanen. And he holds the line very well. And it looks like Cody has the move done. We're going to quickly jump up the field because there is a battle for the lead going on here, and it is Rugweeby round the outside of Matt Pryor, who takes a very, very, very shallow inside line, gets car up on the two wheels a little bit. And this is all enticing Miku to the party. So this battle for the lead is not over, as Mikhail moves up to 8th, passing his teammate Nestor. This is going to be a very, very, very hard fought battle with Pryor on the inside, Rugweeby on the outside, drifting his car out. Miku's all in about the back of this as well. This is going to be a nice three-way battle with the lead going on for a while. Laurie dropping back, Miku up the inside of Rugweeby for P2 there. And he holds it off, he does indeed. And Miku looking for the lead from Pryor. What a showing this is from the three of them as Miku looks to line up Pryor there. And Rugweeby's not done yet. He goes up the inside and dives a move in on Miku. Takes back P2 for the time being. What a great move by GOVEE into the last corner there. Cody has also made a pass on Bazakan, so Cody is now up to P5 and chasing down Laurie. This is quite the fierce battle as Cody does make it past Laurie in the background there, so Cody's going to be on a charge, catching the back of this pack that we're on board with, the battle for the lead between Pryor, Miku and GOVEE. GOVEE has so much pace coming into this last corner, so much drive compared to Miku as well. Has really aced this last sector. 3 cars going nose to tail then down the start finish straight. It's Pryor from Miku from GOVEE.
And Laurie spun it.
As Laurie spun it, he has indeed. He is dropping all the way down the order. P12 right now for Laurie.
It's very unfortunate. He was starting the race really, really good. I mean, last race he took last and he was keeping up quite well for himself. So it's really, really unlucky.
It is, yeah, not what he would want. He's just pushing it a little bit too hard by the sounds of things, and finds himself at the back of the pack as Mikhail has passed Parmesan then for P7. And while we're having that chat there about Laurie, GOVEE has taken P2 back from Miku and is on the bumper of Matt Pryor already. And lurking in the background there, catching all the time is Cody. There's still 12 minutes on the clock here of race 2. And GOVEE, Miku and Cody are definitely doing a last to first challenge here.
And about the lead, I think Miku is starting to save some tires and maybe let the race come to him in P3. See the 2 battle in front of him.
There's a possibility. We did see a few cars struggling at the end of the first stint, so it's a possibility that these harder compound tyres still aren't going to hold on for the entirety of the race. As you said, is Miku just holding back and waiting for his time to pounce? And he won't be wanting to hold back for too long. That battle between Parmesan and Mikhail is ongoing, which is not what Mikhail is wanting, and he's dropping back the order. So it's Parmesan that's made up places. He's up to P6 with Mikhail dropping back down to P9 just ahead of his teammate again. And not ideal for his championship. What is ideal for his championship is Miku currently running in P3 and all over the back of this battle, which is between Pryor and GOVEE. And in the background you see there Cody is starting to come in. Bit of bumper banging there between the leaders. This is some real close, tight fighting. GOVEE gets it all squirrely before he comes into brakes. This is quite some spectacle we're watching right now. And it's going to very slowly, or shortly should I say, turn into a 4-way battle for the lead. Oh, GOVEE has gone sideways, collecting Miku in the process. Not what he wanted. Cody makes his way up into P4, and GOVEE unfortunately dropping down the order. There we see is that is Parmesan and Sopanen coming through the picture now, and Bazarkan and Nestor. Then there's Mikhail and Fiala going through. GOVEE all the way down into P11 now. That was unfortunate. What great racing up until that point. And GOVEE will be kicking himself.
Yeah, I mean, they were doing really close battles. I think neither of them wanted to let go, so it was kind of predictable that they will have some bumper banging.
Indeed, somebody had to lose out, and unfortunately it was GOVEE. Miku also getting involved in that one now, sees himself quite off the back. There's like 3.2 seconds out at the back of Cody, who is now catching on the back of Matt Pryor, hand over fist. And board with Prison though at the moment, watching this battle behind, which is Mikel, Bazakan, Nestor, Fiala. They're all in amongst this battle. GOVEE getting back in and involved as well.
And also Parmesan trying to make some positions up, fighting for P5 with Saponen.
He is indeed. As we see, Barzakan had made a mistake just there off camera and drops himself down to P12. And Parmesan is definitely hounding, but we want to quickly go back to this battle at the front, which is Cody looking to make a move on Matt Pryor. He's got the inside back to the outside. There's no gap there, but he's going to have a better run down here. Oh, they're getting close as Matt squeezes Cody there into the inside line, which will turn to the outside. But Cody has the gap there. Matt diving late. Holy. He cuts the front of Cody off. GOVEE takes Nestor for P8. This is one heck of a battle for the lead. We've still got 7.5 minutes to go. And Cody going round the outside here of Matt. Into turn 1. Backs off, but he's going to have the more shallower inside line coming up to turn 2. They're banging doors a little bit. Give me some space, says Cody. Oh, as he kicks the back end out, will he have the grippers? Matt going to come back at him here down the inside. Great squabble this for P1, and Matt's done it. And cuts Cody's nose off. And Miki will be happy.
Matt is redeeming himself after the last race. I mean, running out of fuel was kind of embarrassing, but now he's doing some really, really good racing. He's trying to squeeze Cody up to the inside lane as much as possible so that he can run wide and then come back to the apex, getting more speed. And then side by side to the first corner.
Absolutely agree. Fantastic. It's very, very defensive driving here from Matt, but he's doing a great job. Look at the lines he's taking. Everything he does is chopping the nose off Cody. And he's just going to have to back off again. Is there a gap down the inside? No, there's not. It's been covered again by Matt. And as you said, fantastic driving. He's defending as well. And the big winner out of all this is, there he is. It's Miku. He's back in and amongst it. 1.2 seconds off the pace. On this one, as we see Matt again late on the brakes and cutting that inside extreme. And it seems to work for him.
I mean, he's showing us some defensive masterclass today.
It is. Yeah, he has indeed, and this is how you do it. Side by side again, going into turn 1. Just under 6 minutes to go. And how long can Matt hold this out? This onslaught, that is Cody, but he's got the inside line there this time.
Oh, but he locks up the brakes. Seeing some smoke coming out of the tires.
Yep. Oh, Matt's going to go for a late lunge. The gap wasn't there. Miku's going to get an invite into this one. And it is all go. As Matt now looks to drop 2 places, but we know how late Matt likes to dive onto the brakes in here. But it's unfortunate. He drops back down to P3. Miku the winner there, P2. And on board now with Cody in the leads. 5 minutes to go of race 2 here. But it's not over yet.
Matt is getting some slipstream and getting into the inside of Miku.
Oh.
Going through with the overtake, but Miku strikes back.
He does it. He's straight down the inside. Yep. Oh, wonderful stuff. A great cutback there from Miku. And he's just going to hold off Matt there. This is going to let Cody get away a little bit. And he's going to like that as Matt goes very wide. I'll not be liking that.
But there are a lot of battles going on, like Lori with Soponen. Lori is kind of fast at the moment, but Soponen is catching up. And goes for the overtake again, maybe.
Board with Laurie at the moment, and yeah, he's trying his best to fend off. Oh, contact between Soponen and Laurie. So we're kind of bullied his way through there. As we see, Miku has definitely made another move on Matt.
And Parmesan is catching up to the top 3.
Oh, this is what we want to see. Let's get ourselves back onto that one. Oh,
His lines are just incredible on this track. He's really, really fast. I mean, he showed this in qualifying in the first race. So maybe he can even claim P1. Everything can happen in the last 3 minutes. It's very unlikely, but it can still happen.
Well, it happened last week. P1 in race 1 came P1 in race 2. In fact, the top 2 were the exact same order with the exact same finishing gap of 1/100th of a second, I believe it was, between the both of them in both races. But yeah, Parmesan here catching at a rate of knots with 3 minutes left on the track. Cody is gapping nicely. Miku's starting to make a little bit of a pull on Matt. But there is a little bit more of a battle going further back, and there we go. It's GOVEE on Brizzen. We see Brizzen taking the inside line back on GOVEE, who gives him a punt for good measure.
GOVEE goes into the inside, side by side in the start and finish straight.
Yeah,
And can he go through with the overtake?
oh, he does indeed. He slots that car in there perfectly, but Brizzen's not going to give up. He's going to go later on the brakes down the inside, and GOVEE left the door open. He didn't come across to cover him, but he holds the back of the end as Brizzen was squirreling the car there to try to get power down. And GOVEE trying to make his way back up the grid. He's 3 seconds though behind Mikel. But P6, I'd say, would be a good recovery as he squirrels it wide. I've said it and they've cursed him. GOVEE goes backwards into the wall at the last corner. Oh, the curse of the commentator, and GOVEE strikes again. As we see Nestor going up the inside, and Fiala looking to try and make P8 his own.
Cody has made a great gap, but there's still fight for the podium.
Yeah, as I said, that's Fiala, and Fiala goes off. That lets Sopanen through to P9. This is a battle we want to see. Parmesan all over the tail of Pryor right now. And this gives Miku a little bit of breathing space. 38 seconds left on the clock. So this will be the final lap that they're all on. Parmesan looking to get back on the podium yet again for 2 races in a row here. Down the inside of Matt Pryor. Pryor holds on through the outside. Fastest lap that was from Parmesan as they switch sides inside to outside there. Just about contact, but they hold it. And Matt is doing everything in his power to keep Parmesan at bay. Parmesan is being real good and not making contact. But this is going to be a spicy one to the end. It looks like Cody's going to come around the last corner for a victory. Is anything going to happen between Parmesan and Matt here? I don't think so. But here is your race leader and race winner, folks. Congratulations to Cody. Then it's Miku. Matt is holding off Parmesan. Mikel will come through and take P5. Brizzen looks like a P6 on the cards.
GOVEE and Sopanen are still fighting in the last corner.
They are, and it's Sopanen who's got the inside line on GOVEE here. This is for P8. Nestor ahead taking P7. Fiala will take, that was P8, P9. And Maverick will round up in P11. Wow, what an absolutely amazing race. Full of chaos, mostly because I left my car on the track, but we had some amazing on-track battles there. I think we'll be getting some drivers up to have a little chat. I'll just see what is going on. But what was your experience like in the box for the first weekend, Glibby?
I mean, it was great to be here. A really, really interesting track and car combination with really good driving. So it was an interesting race weekend. Haven't seen anything like this before. I can say.
Yeah, interesting is definitely one word I would use. There we go. We've got a couple of folks joining us in the comms box. And we're going to start with Miku. Welcome back. It's good to see you in here again. We've just got you, going to have to assign you a special chair because you're never out of this comms box. Especially post-race. How did it go? You were struggling a little bit in practice. We heard some Kimi Räikkönen-like expletives coming from you. But your race seemed to have gone a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely have to say that it's gone a lot better. Finally managed to channel what I managed to do last year and pulled it through into a double podium.
You have indeed. And again, a classic battle between you and Mikhail on race 1. Almost reminiscent of the Bahrain battle last week, which again, absolutely fantastic to watch. But race 2, you must have been smiling when you noticed that your championship rival wasn't progressing as well as you were through the pack.
Well, yeah, I certainly do feel sorry for the fact of what's happened. Especially what happened when we went for lap 2, when all of a sudden there was a car on the track still.
Yeah, I think Race Control's going to have a little word with me about that because that was my car. Well, welcome to
so,
yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Please like and subscribe to the stream, guys, because I think I'm about to get murdered. Live on stream. Yeah, that's the only downside with the Assetto Corsa is spectator mode does put myself and anyone else who's not supposed to be racing on the grid, and when you guys are that exciting on lap 1 and I forget that I exist, that happens. Unfortunately this time it has collected a few drivers, and
yeah,
it's just
many
racing.
Many of which were Cody and Parmesan, but gotta give him credit for pushing through and actually finishing on the podium.
Exactly, pushing through indeed. No doubt there will be circulated rumours going through the paddock right now that this was indeed a setup. I did a Flavio Briatore in order for Miku to get extra points to catch up in the championship. I'm waiting for that one. But let's hope not. But congratulations, Miku. As I said, that was a fantastic drive, especially with the issues you were having in practice, and looking forward to Vallelunga next week.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good one. And we're going to then move on to Cody. Welcome to the comms box, Cody.
Hey, Paddy, nice to be here.
Thanks very much for spending some time with us. So, talk us through your races. Race 1 to start with. And, yeah, how did you feel with that one?
Well, race 1, I have to say, I had a bit of a case of the cold. I chickened out on the first couple of laps. I was not confident. It's been a very long time since I've gotten into league racing, and I just wanted to make sure that I kept my hands clean. And so, yeah. Parmesan, he just, dude, I don't know what he's had for breakfast. I couldn't catch up to him whatsoever in the first half of the race, and after that was just a bit of a cat and mouse affair, and, you know, he would go a little bit faster, then I would catch up a little bit, and it was oscillating like that. And, you know, maybe if there was 5 more minutes, maybe we'll never know, but that could have been a battle of what might have been. But I was really happy with P2 and the fastest lap in the first race.
Well, that it was a fast lap from you indeed in the first race, and extremely consistent. And if you just kind of maybe kept the pace up with the second half of the race, from what I was seeing, yeah, you had a lot of pace on you there.
Yeah, cheers. I mean, look, I do have to admit that I'm a little bit of a newbie over here on Assetto Corsa, but from what I can feel, from what I can judge so far, it's a very comfortable sim, and, you know, these MX5s are really offering a lot of fun just in the driving experience itself. So yeah, I'm glad to be here, glad to be in this league, and, you know, I'm really having a lot of fun.
Well, we're glad to hear you are, and hopefully you'll be joining us at Vallelunga next week as well for round 7 of the championship.
Yeah, can't wait. I hope Matt the battle he put up in the second race. I hope we have a lot more of that come next time.
And indeed, and it was great for me to watch as well. And with Kluby joining me in the box, it was a fantastic experience from our point of view.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime, anytime. Hopefully, look forward to having you back in the box ASAP indeed. But from us, folks, we're going to call it a night. But it's not over for Phoenix Sim Sport this weekend. Tomorrow it's the Assetto Corsa World Challenge, and it's going to be a tasty one. It's in the wet, and it's at Misano. Yes, it is, and it's going to be absolute fun. And then followed up with that, it's Le Mans Ultimate as well. So it's a double header on Saturday. So definitely join in for that. But in the meantime, from me and everybody in the box and everyone here at Phoenix Sim Sport and the MX5 Cup, thanks very much for joining in. Have yourselves a great Friday, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Good night.